Replacing the front brake pads on a 2000 Camry. These are the new pads. I upgraded to something that doesn't throw off as much dust, a little more metallic, supposedly stops better. Just one notch up from the bottom of the selection. Have the parking brake set so it won't roll. This rotor is heavily worn out. There's a lip and worn thin, and it even has some burn marks on it. They could be resurfaced, but I think since the price of a brand new one is so reasonable, why resurface it and use one that's been made thinner when you can get a brand new one and have the benefit of the full thickness. So I'm going to remove this and put on a new rotor while we're at it. I forgot to bring my big channel out pliers to compress the piston, so I'm going to do it with, before I take it off the car, with this pry bar. It's a little awkward, but it works. It's going in now. Okay, I have the piston fully pushed back in so that it can accept the width of the new pads. Now these two bolts to remove this part. Check to make sure that there's plenty of free movement here so that it draws against the brake pads evenly. See how this is already compressed in because I was praying on it. These pads were really on their last leg. Not much left there. See the comparison to the new pad? These are almost gone. Now this piece, so we can get the rotor off. If you're worried about damaging this brake line, you could tie this up to somewhere up here so it's not dangling. It's fairly durable. hot still. There it is. Here's the new one. Just gonna make sure it's same size. Perfect. Okay. Now just tighten these back up. Set these in the clips. They're all the same. I didn't replace my clips. They're not broken. But there are replacement clips here if you need them. There we go. Okay. These bolts are 14 millimeter. Big ones were 17. Snug, but not too tight. These bolts could snap if you over tighten them. A couple little things. Now that I have the piston compressed, the brakes will have to be pumped up a couple of times to adjust the piston to the proper tension so that the brakes start applying. And when I compress the piston, and the same thing will happen on the other side, it's pushing fluid back into the master cylinder. If during the course of the brakes wearing thin, somebody's refilled the master cylinder, then it's going to overflow and you'll have brake fluid pouring out on the floor. So if you're not sure about that, take a look at it. You might have to take some of the brake fluid out of the master cylinder with a turkey baster or some kind of suction device to avoid a mess. If it's been filled, this car wasn't filled, it just, the level went down, the low brake fluid set the light off on the dash, low brake fluid light. So what went down as I squeeze the pistons just goes right back up. And the brake fluid will be full again when the procedure's over, and the brake light will go off after the float rises in the tank. The whole job cost $100. $35 each for the rotors and another $30 for the brake pads. I snug these up every other bolt until they're, or lug nut until they're just snug. Now I'll lower the car and then tighten them once it's on the ground. I have to take the pressure off this jack stand. Oops. Don't forget to tighten the lug nuts. This is a really important step. That's it.